Bathrooms it is. We're going to start in the toilet and we're going to work on the toilet bowl first. We are actually going to use liquid Swabby on the inside. You don't need a lot. It's mostly for disinfecting and for cleaning the urine that's around the outside. You want to start with a pumice stone on dirty toilets. For example, places like top to bottoms or one-time cleanings. There's going to be a hard water ring around there, and the pumice stone is perfect for getting that off. It'll also help around the rim as well. The second thing that I'm going to show you is the fact that we have two different types of toilet wands. One is the cotton ball wand, that I'm going to use first. Kind of looks like a cotton ball on the top of the stick. Start by shoving the water down through that pipe. That way you can get the toilet bowl cleaned very nicely. I prefer the cotton ball because I feel like it cleans the surface better than the other one, but this plastic one works fine too if that's the only option you have. It does have a little more abrasiveness to it for getting up around the edge of the rim like that. Either one works well. Just make sure you're getting all of the surfaces, the sides, the rim down into the toilet where into the trap. You want to get all of them good. I like to, when I flush, rinse my toilet wand out really good with that clean water that's coming down to help for storage. The next thing we're going to use is Rejuvenol to disinfect the toilet and to clean the toilet. You want to spray it down really well, remembering that disinfectants need to sit on the surface wet for so many minutes. Rejuvenol is a 10-minute dwell time. So we want to spray the surface down really good so it stays wet for 10 minutes, and then we start to clean. I use that 8-fold trick. If you fold your rag this way, you have 8 different surfaces to clean. Each time you fold it and change the direction, it's a brand new clean surface, so I like to use that trick. Always start from the top of your toilet and work your way down to the dirtiest part at the bottom. Obviously, this just keeps your rag the cleanest going that route, top to bottom, wiping every surface, inside, outside, under the lid. The lid has those little jut outs to kind of sit nice. Make sure you're getting all the way around each of those and then all the way down under the bowl and all of those little nooks and crannies in the back of your toilet. You want to wipe them down completely using one surface of your rag. Now, if it's a really dirty toilet at a top to bottom, you might need to use more surfaces. But if it's just maintenance cleaning, you can easily get by with using one surface of your rag. Next thing we're going to do is get into those details. So a lot of hiding spots for dirt and grime in a toilet, and you can see here where the hinge is on that toilet. It is really dirty, so I want to get in there with my toothbrush and clean that really nice and good. Replace all of your items when you moved them from cleaning. Now here's all the hiding spots. Every piece of equipment has hiding spots. So behind the handle, down at the base of the bowl, the hinges and around the screws, they're all going to have a lot of hiding dirt where we can need to clean. Under the rim of the bowl, around this edge here, you're going to get black buildup if you don't clean it well. Under this bowl here, where pee can drip down a lot of times and back on all those nooks and crannies and where the screws are, as well as around the base of the toilet. Moving on to sinks. Again, here I'm going to use my 8-fold trick. I'm going to remove everything from the sink so I can make sure I get underneath and clean the surfaces really, really well. So move it all off to the side. And again, just like before, Rejuvenol is a good disinfectant. We're going to spray that surface down really nice and get it really moist so that it can sit on there and actually do the disinfecting. Let it sit for 10 minutes and then come back and wipe. I'm going to take my rag and I can use one surface of it. I have a magic eraser here for some spots that maybe the scrub brush isn't going to do so well at. And then I'm going to use my rag, my one side of it, to clean the surface really well. Take your toothbrush and you can get into all the nooks and crannies. Again, this is more for top to bottoms, not necessarily your regular maintenance. If you're doing this really well on a regular basis, there isn't as much buildup to clean. But you are going to need a toothbrush or some sort of a scrub brush for top to bottoms to get around all of these little edges and nooks and crannies where that dirt is going to hide. Once we wipe it all up, then you can shine your surfaces. Under the sink here, under the handle of your faucet, those are all places where that dirt is going to hide. Finish wiping everything up. And you'll be good to go. Remembering in a bathroom that disinfecting is extremely important. This is where we have a lot of bacteria, a lot of germs are going to harbor. People get really grossed out by that. So making sure that we are using the good disinfectant and using good practices. I like to go back with a flour sack towel and polish up my sink and my faucet, and then you're all good to go. Replacing all the items, making sure to take a rag and you can fold to a different side, and wiping off each of those items as you return them to their place. That's going to help keep the dust down in this bathroom. It makes it look really, really good. Attention to detail. So where does the dirt hide on a sink? Okay, around the edge of the sink where that caulk is sometimes, or where that sink meets the countertop. In the drain where the water sits, it doesn't drain out all the time. That's going to get gross and gunky. Underneath your faucet is like the number one areas that get missed. So you want to make sure when you're cleaning that you are doing a really good job of getting under there. If you lift the handle, dirt's going to hide under there. It's actually the moisture, the water is going to set there if it doesn't get wiped up each time. And it's going to get gross and gooey and just nasty, moldy. And then around the edges there, under your sink, you've got your on-off valves. You've got underneath the sink, and then you've got the pipes under there. Don't forget those areas. Moving on to mirrors, I am going to spray my window clean directly on my rag because of the signage that is attached to the mirror. I don't want to get it wet and ruin it. If your mirror does not have anything on it, you can go ahead and spray the window clean on the mirror. I'm just using a dry microfiber to polish it clean, but we have e-cloths at the office that you can spray it on and wipe it off and then polish with the e-cloth. Then we want to dust. So you want to think of every surface. Dust obviously comes from the air, and it's going to settle on surfaces. So things like fire alarms, fire extinguishers, soap dispensers, paper towel dispensers, your cupboards, any shelves, any surface in the bathroom is going to accrue dust. Make it a game. Stop and think, where is my dust going to hide? Where is it going to fall on the surface here? The tops of those mirrors, the toilet paper holders, that toilet paper dust gets in there. The next thing, make sure to fold those triangles in your toilet paper in the bathroom. That's the one thing we do every bathroom that we clean. Moving on to floors, we are going to use the Suprox. Suprox is great for creating shine. You can alternate with Rejuvenol once in a while because Rejuvenol is going to disinfect, but it's also going to remove any buildup from Suprox from consistent use. If your floor is something different than this and you use Super Shine-All, just go ahead and pay attention to the instructions for the Super Shine-All as we go. So we're using the Red Mop system, and they're flat mops, they're microfiber mops. That's what we're going to use in this bathroom. If this is regular maintenance cleaning and we're not on our hands and knees, we're just going to spray the floor with Suprox so we can get it nice and shiny and clean, and we are going to use the figure 8 method to mop that floor. Figure 8 is going to keep all of the dirt and the dust and the grime that you're mopping up in the mop as you go. You're not shoving it into the corners. We're using that figure 8 method. Making sure when you're all done to put everything back where it belongs. You want to make sure that in the offices and homes that you clean, people like their things where they have them. So it's important for us to put everything back to where it was. Where does the dirt hide in the bathroom? Again, let's think of the floors and underneath of surfaces. So underneath those sinks, along the edges of the baseboard, even this vinyl baseboard is going to have dirt hiding. The walls behind paper towel dispensers. We have wet hands and we go to grab the paper towels, and what happens to that water? It's going to drip down the wall. Look behind the toilets and you have on-off valves and the little hoses that run to the toilet. Those gather a lot of dust, making sure to clean those repeatedly. Around the edges of your toilets, anything that is attached to the wall. I always say, sit on that toilet and close the door and pretend you're actually using that bathroom. Look behind the door. Those are areas that we forget most often. Other items in a bathroom. Emptying the garbage cans is important. Don't need to show you that. Give those plungers a wash once in a while. Go ahead and take the time to dip them in the toilet. And then always check your bathroom vents. Make sure that they are clean and see if they need to be vacuumed.